Welcome back, everybody. This is Arunava Chaudhary, and you are live on my YouTube channel, Arun Foot. It's July the 17th, 2024, and let's talk about the latest in Indian as well as, if you want to, international football. Let's talk about transfers, rumors, and the general news that is out there. And let's enjoy another evening session tonight. And let's talk about what's all happening. Where do we start? Hi, Chetan. Welcome back. Let's start with that Anwar has gotten legal advice and is now gone himself to the Players Status Committee of the All India Football Federation to try and resolve the impasse that he is in with Mohun Bagan Super Giant. So that's the first step that he has taken. And then, let's wait and see, because in theory, he should be reporting at Mohun Bagan in a couple of days. So therefore, that will be interesting to see if that actually happens or if that does not happen. Because as I said, officially, at least on paper, he is still a Mohun Bagan player, and we'll wait and see what happens. Hi, Kiran. FC Goa signed a Serbian attacking midfielder. Yeah, I've heard that as well, but still having my allergy. I've heard that as well. I have not been able to find out the name. So if I get the name during the show, I'll let you know. It is not one of those suspected players that have been, that have been named quite on few forums or on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Supposedly, I think Marcus termed it as could be one of the signings of the summer. So let's wait and see. Murali, hi, welcome back. India plays poor football because they didn't coach properly. They didn't go to the structured development process. That's why Indian performance poor, individual mistake. Murali, it's not one thing per se, if you ask me, in my opinion. I think it is, the fact that our players are sometimes poor with the basics. It is sometimes decision making. It is tactics. It is, what does the coach do? And let's see what it is. And to me, that's one of the weaknesses that I see. Moinok, good evening as well. Your 11 favorite 11. Yep. This is yours. Okay, let's go through it. I'll start at the back. Magnon, Kimmich, Rudiger, Walker, Kroos, Conte, Olmo, Fabian Ruiz, Yamal, Gakpo, either Nico Williams or Musiala. Okay, interesting. Mine was a little different. 1 second, where is mine? There is mine. Mine is Mamadashvili, Kimmich, Akanji, Saliba, Kukurea, Rodri, Fabian Ruiz. In defensive midfield, Dani Olmo as the playmaker, and my attacking line would be Lamine Yamal, Jamal Musiala, Nico Williams, and you could potentially interswitch. I'm not playing with the striker, but I would put on the bench 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Magnon, Carvajal, Ruben Diaz, Kroos, Mainu, Conte, Simons, Weghorst, and Skarachvelia. That would be, and Luis de la Fuente would be my head coach. So that would be my side. If you would ask me, that would be my decision. I saw the UEFA one. I was a little surprised with the 1-1. How does Kyle Walker get in? Because I was listening quite a bit of what people in the UK were saying in the last few days, and Kyle Walker seems to get a lot of stick. So let me know what you think. That's what I would ask. Yeah. So thanks a lot. Murali, are Pierre player better equipped compared to us? If yes, why? Because of structure, individual brilliance. They're better equipped because they've learned the basics better. They've been in a better football system, be it in Europe or be it in US. And individually, most probably, this is something, the individual brilliance also comes either you have it in you, you are are a Messi, are a Musiala, are a Yamin Yamal. So to me, that would be the one, if you ask me. Do you think technical director didn't hold accountable for a long time? The technical directors I have met over the years wanted to do things, but the system didn't want to do things. So I think it's easy to blame the technical directors. Utsav, hi, welcome. How ISO club scout players and how many scouts do they then have on payroll? I think very often they have few to no scouts. They have people in the technical team, and then they try and bring on people on board and or work with agents to try to find the players that are that are capable of doing that. So that's how normally clubs operate. Again, some do. They don't have scouts like in Europe where you have scouts working with you 12 months a year. Here it's more, you're trying to do it. You have got people in your technical department who do it. Hello, sir. Hi, Blue. Do you think Sadiko is an improvement or Carlos? I would not say Sadiko and Carlos are sort of the same character. I would rather put Sadiko and say, listen, Sadiko is a replacement for Noah Sadui, if you would ask me. And Ika Guruchena would be my my number 9 if Ika Guruchena is fit. So therefore, that might be the approach that, if you ask me, that is the one that I would take if you ask me at FC Goa. But again, Manolo will find a solution. I don't know if also Ika Guruchena will be fit at the start of the season because he was out with an ACL at Mumbai City. Yeah, let's wait and see what they are able to do. Hi, Joydeep. Jigson to East Bengal. Thoughts? Great transfer. For East Bengal, Jigson Singh is a great transfer. Yeah. Because he's one of those few defensive midfielders who we have who can control the game. And in the worst case, if there's any need or desire, he can even drop back into a central defensive position. So for East Bengal, I've always said that East Bengal will need 2-3 years to sort itself out. I said that 2 years ago. Steven did some work. Carlos Coutrat improved the overall squad, and now they've taken the next step. And then let's see if this year is the final product, or if East Bengal still need to make transfers here and there to have a squad to really. I think East Bengal have a squad to challenge for top 6, top 4. But if they have a top team to lift the title, they'll have to prove it over the season. Do you see ISF foreigners have some deficiency like Indian players? Again, none of them are perfect. If they were better, they would be playing in bigger leagues. So some of them surely have. Hi, Tonmoy. Thought about Anwar move to PSC. Tonmoy, it was clear that either Mohun Bagan or the player would go to the player status committee. He's gone there. And now let's wait and see when the player status committee will convene to discuss the matter. And then we'll see if that is the decision, or if, either the player or the club go to the next instance, which would then be the FIFA Player Status Tribunal. If Indian players are somehow forced to play in Europe, at what division can they play at starting 11? My guess is 4th division in top 5 countries. I would love to see that, but I'm not sure, Utsav. In the top 5 countries, 4th division looks tough to me. I can tell you that, for example, my hometown club here in Germany, FC Remscheid, plays 6th division. I'm not sure how many Indian players would get into that team. We've got a lot of kids who have played under 19 Bundesliga, junior national teams. So for me, starting 11, 4th division, for me looks tough. I mean, if I look at the Regionalliga in Germany, if I look at League 2 in England, very, very tough. I mean, we've seen that, for example, Jay Gupta, Ishan Pandita are sort of 5th, 6th tier players in Spain. Do you think national team didn't get enough time to prepare for big event, long camp, and we get long camp for? Well, no, I think we're getting more than enough. Igor Stimac has got more time than any other national team coach. So whatever he says, I don't see that as being true. Hi, Shonak. Any idea how much time it takes for a verdict to come from PSC? Depends on when their next hearing is. I'm not sure. To me is depends on the hearing, and then if it's going to be one hearing, it's going to be enough. Are they going to do another hearing? Are they going to do a physical hearing? Let's say in Delhi at Football House, normally it takes 20 days to whenever they officially say or assign a date to do this. But again, it is something where I say, or where I think that this will very likely drag on for some period of time. Hello, sir. News on Edmond Daldindika. Shomnath, he was in Canada, I know, but I can't say anything more at the moment where he is and where he's supposed to be playing. How did Canada League compare to India? Well, really, the Canadian Premier League is the second tier of North American football. MLS is the top tier, but I would rate the Premier League higher than the ISL. Marco said EB in a win-win position in the Anwar saga. Joydeep, I see that a little differently because to me, sorry, there is some problem with the Wi-Fi. Yeah, can you hear me again? Yeah. So to me, it is not a win-win in the Anwar saga, because if it is a win-win in the Anwar saga, then there needs to be a mutual termination, which didn't happen. It was unilateral. You approached a player who's on contract with another club, who is on loan. Again, you approached a club and he's on loan on another club. And to me, that is a very dangerous precedent, because if I follow looking purely at the facts which are available, and if PSC should normally come to the same conclusion, then Anwar gets a ban, gets a fine, and East Bengal most probably gets a transfer ban for 1 or 2 times. So therefore, I can't agree with Marcus on this one, that he says that East Bengal is a winning, that is a winning situation for East Bengal. I think if there were conversations with other clubs as well, and none of the other clubs jumped on that opportunity. So therefore, for me, I don't know. Maybe again, I would have waited. I would have had informal talks and then said, once you're free, let's have a conversation. But they were told most probably, let's see where it goes. Chuck to Dubai not happening in info because of money or political power administration, people enjoying it. We have enough money in the system. It's just been spent in the wrong places, Murali. That's the problem. So I got the name of Centre Mumbai signed. Hey, congratulations, Debru. How do you compare Aspire Academy or Odisha facilities? Aspire is one of the best in the world, so I think there is no comparison amongst the two. Goa signing a Serbian number 10, that too a young player once in a blue moon. Debru seems to be a good signing. So let's wait and see if it's really that, and then let's see. Do you see Anwar playing this year before winter window if it went to CAS? If it goes to CAS, there's no chance. If it goes to CAS, I think it might. Again, I might be wrong. To me, is that if it goes to CAS, this will take longer, and then the danger is there that he might not be playing the season. I think that danger is given. Abhishek, do you have proof that East Bengal offered to Anwar? I know from reliable sources that it's not only been an offer, there was a concrete contract, as is my understanding. And again, it's now even mainstream media has reported about it, that a 5-year contract has been offered to the player and for a huge sum, and therefore Yeah. And again, I don't need a contract, even if there is communication. The player is under contract somewhere else. So therefore, you're not allowed to even speak to the player. I think this is something which, especially the Kolkata clubs, need to learn, that it's not, like in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, where, we were in the token business. These are different times. The rules are hard. And if it goes to FIFA and then goes to CAS, it's going to be a very difficult thing. And I think it'll be a wake up call for a lot of people who are running clubs in an Indian system where, a lot of jugaad is done. Hi, Ishan. What do you make of FC Goa signing Sadiku? If he signs for them, I think it could be a win-win for both sides. I think Manolo will get something out of the player, because I think they've lost Noah Sadoui, so therefore Sadiku could be that potential replacement of Sadoui if Iker is, so to say, the key striker. Shomo, what's your opinion about PSC, sir? See, Shomo, the player status committee's work is to look at contracts and look at player disputes. And I have never heard, not never would be wrong, but I haven't heard anything in the recent past which has been negative about it. So yeah, that's it. Monak, is there any tangible evidence against East Bengal till now? I've heard from people that there is, and those people are reliable. So therefore, yeah. So therefore, again, to me, it's very simple. You were approached by Delhi FC and Ranji Bajaj saying, "Hey, listen, we've sent them a termination. Let's talk. Let's finalize." The others didn't do it. So therefore, wait and watch. Starting to start in 50, just show how far behind we are compared to European teams. Utsav, but that's the reality, right? Our players think they can play for Real Madrid and Liverpool and Barca or whatever, and they're not even close. That's the reality. So for Bagan's purchases, Anwar gone, they would receive compensation, but it seems rather impossible for Anwar to wear a Bagan shirt. If not, please educate, be it an exception to my point of view. Orithro, for me, I don't see there's a way back for Anwar to Mohun Bagan. I don't see that. To me, it's just gone too far, and I don't see a road back. And for both sides, I don't see a road back, and therefore I think that that there will be some sort of termination. The question is how far it then favors Mohun Bagan, which is my understanding, because it was a unilateral termination of a contract, which is not allowed, because then you have to prove you've not been paid salaries, or this has happened to you, or that has happened to you, and Anwar has not been able to bring anything forward in his communications that way. So for me, I don't see a way back. And again, it also doesn't make sense, because I think you bring a lot of issues and problems back into the squad, into the team. What are your thoughts about Mumbai City midfield this season? Joydeep, to me, looking at Joel Fanif, looking at Jon Toral, looking at Jeremy Mansouro, the three foreigners in midfield look good. Yashran is there. Brandon has joined. We've got attacking positions with Changte, Bipin, and Vikram. We are short of one Indian central defensive midfielder. That's one thing. Otherwise, I don't know if they want to play maybe with Fanif on their own and play four attacking players. Maybe that's also an option. But to me, we are short that one defensive Indian midfielder. And if you ask me, what looks difficult, I guess, with Jigson said to go to East Bengal, I would like Bibin to come. Anyway, next season the Serbian going to join Mumbai or after that. Odisha, the group, let's see. How do you rate goalkeeping? Are they well equipped? Goalkeepers are in general good, okay, but they could be better. Shishindo, any update? Jigson Singh. Shishindo, again, he's supposed to sign with East Bengal, but that signing hasn't happened, let's wait and see what happens. So how do see the new bring on the table before upcoming edition coming? See the new bringing up on the table before the upcoming international league coming up. Let's see. I mean, the first point is let's get an international coach, right? I think. So so therefore for me, let's wait and see. Let's get the coach first, and then let's see what matches. But we don't have a proof that East Bengal signed a contract. Sorry, that is the thing that is now being said, even or written publicly by big publications, that there is a 5-year written contract. I've not seen it, therefore I can't say that. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Tanmay, how we can manage increasing price of Indian players? Do you think increase the number of foreigners and ourselves will be a solution? Tanmay, the problem is, I think, and I did a video about it today. If you guys, if you like, watch it. I think FSDL has to step in and enforce a strict salary cap. And I know that smaller ISL teams were already very unhappy about Mohun Bagan splashing. Now East Bengal has started to do the same. And and if you add up the numbers, you are not going to be below 18 crores. That is clearly evident. So therefore, then the question is, where are we figure wise? And that's going to be the challenge, I think, for FSDL to try and find a way of what's the best possible way of trying to keep some sort of balance, and also ensure that, again, we've moved from about a crore and a half to close to 2 to 3 now. Players are being offered more than 4 crores. It's way too much, and the clubs are not recouping the money. It's becoming a problem. It shows what I've been saying for a while, that we have a lack of a talent base, that we have limited players, a player pool, and that's why, especially, we used to talk about strikers, which is a fact, but you can cover with foreigners. We now have a problem with centre backs. We have a problem with central midfielders. The only positions where we seem to be okay seems to be with attacking players and with goalkeepers. And that's one of the realities of this whole situation. Shomnath sir, what do you see the new coach bring on the table before the upcoming winter? See, the first one is he needs to understand his team, understand the players, and then see if he can, what can be done, and prepare. I think let's give him the first 2, 3, 4 matches to settle down, find his team. And again, it will count from March next year when we play the AFC Asian Cup 2027 qualifiers. Those of you who are watching, maybe some first timers amongst you, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to arunfoot. Those of you who haven't, please also leave a like so more people get to know about this live, and of course share as well. FC Cologne of Germany, I guess, got banned to influence a player during the contract, if I'm not wrong. Not sure what happens in India. Shomon, that's exactly the thing. FC Köln, for a minor player from Slovenia happened. They signed him, and the parent club said the player was influenced to sign for Cologne. Cologne got a 2-window transfer ban. They will have a ban this summer and in the winter. In the meanwhile, they got relegated, so they now have to. The club is going to be fighting for survival in the second tier because of such a breach. And again, it is something where Cologne is saying, "Oh, we didn't do anything wrong," but FIFA clearly put down its foot and said, "Listen, you made an illegal approach to the player. You told the player to sign for you. Not allowed. Ban. Khatam." Marcus said Sadiqa joined Goa and rejected KBC to play under Mano. It can be interesting. Blue. Yes, again, that's why I put out a tweet last night saying, he was supposed to go to Punjab, then he was linked to Kerala. Now he most likely goes to Goa. We should know either tonight or tomorrow that the contract has been signed. So I think, Goa are getting a good striker in Sadiku. Do you think Qatar can catch up with Europe like Japan? Murali, that's possible. To me, that surely is possible. Waman, hi. Nava, what's your opinion on the foreigners in ISL? If they play in Europe or any other top footballing country, what division do they look to play in their maximum potential? See, top footballing country, I think there would be the one of the players, the Spaniard, I guess, who could be playing La Liga. We see Greg Stewart is playing in the Scottish Premier League, but if you look at in England, or in Germany, I think second tier, third tier would be where these players most likely would be playing in. So I would say that's the reality of the standard of where how good or how bad the players, um, you know. Do you have how much compensation Mohan Bagan can get? That would be a calculation, Blue. To me, would be if there is no mutual agreement on the termination, then to me is it's something that you would add up and say, listen, he's got a contract till 2026, so there are 2 years. Are the other compensations? Are there certain costs that they'll show up? It could go in the region of 8 to 10 crores, I guess. Murali, who's responsible for Anwar, agent or Bajaj? Ignorance. Ignorance from the player side, surely. And I guess at the end, Ranjit Bajaj, the player, I've not heard anything from the agent so far. So I don't know how involved the agent in all of this is. But Ranjit Bajaj and the player surely are at fault at this. And again, it's not only the player who could get in trouble. As I said, the player can get in trouble. Delhi SC could get in trouble. Ranjit Bajaj personally can get in trouble for what he's done. The PSC could do it. If the PSC doesn't do it, then it's something which can then go to FIFA. And if it goes to FIFA doesn't care who's who and whatever. If you've done something wrong, you've seen bans for Chelsea, for Real Madrid, for Barcelona. They don't care who you are. Debruk, your opinion on Hardik Bhatt? Couldn't find any highlights of him. Debruk, right back, who's been at Mumbai City. Again, we come to the topic of when you're losing players, where are the replacements? And Mumbai City, to me, has gone for someone that they know, and therefore Hardik Bhatt has been brought back as such. Hello, Kaushik, your favorite co-commentator. Do you miss Novi Kapadia? Oh, Novi Kapadia, surely. Novi was an encyclopedia of information on football in India. So it's always a pleasure to talking and chatting with him and finding out old stories and other things. But if you ask me, my personal favorite would be Pulostodhar amongst the ones that I have had the pleasure of doing it. I mean, the most fun one was once Pulosto, Renedy and I. That was really fun. So yeah, let's see. Mohammed, thoughts on BFC signings and squad this season? Mohammed, BFC are trying to rebuild. They have looked at their weaknesses and tried to look at how to work around it. And BFC look to me a solid team at the moment. And but again, it's going to be a question of if Gerard Zaragoza can get this team to gel up well, to play well. I think that's the biggest challenge that BFC has. I think that's where they've struggled over the last 3-4 years. Do they still play defensive football, or do they get back into a more attacking flow? That will be one of the questions, so let's see. Is Jixon 100% confirmed to East Bengal? Shomnath, as long as he's not signed the contract, that's the only thing which is missing. He's not signed the contract. I think both sides have worked out the details of the contract. As I always say, as long as it's not signed, it's not done, but it's very, very close, but it's not 100%. I mean, I think the best example was many, many years back, the transfer of Robinho. Robinho leaves Spain and travels to England. He was supposed to land in London and sign for Chelsea. In the end, he signs for Manchester City. And he says at the press conference, I'm happy to be in London. He didn't even realize that he's not landed in London, but he's actually landed in Manchester. So these kind of things have happened in the past as well when it comes to transfers. So by what time do the PSC give its verdict? Aritra, there is no timeline. As I said, it has to come in. Mohan Bagan also has to come in. Both sides have to then, I don't know if they'll do an online hearing or a physical hearing. If they've got one hearing, they did one on the 5th of July. We heard multiple cases, and then they'll decide. And again, if I am 100% sure that one side will not be happy about the verdict, and then they most likely will go to the next level, which is then the FIFA Players Tribunal. And then let's see how long this takes. Deepak Tangre is a CDM for Mumbai. Debru, if available. I don't know if he's available, but if available, I wouldn't mind, because you would add someone who could play as CDM or potentially also play as a center back. I think that's something. A lot of teams are not that good in their defensive unit, I feel, this season. Hi, Uday. Detailed calendar was released by the AFF a few weeks ago. I think they've done a calendar for the season. Just have to look through. I don't have it in my mind, but they've released a general calendar for Indian football. How do you rate Sal Crespo? Is it CM or a CDM? To me, I think he's more of a CM, but he was used more as a CDM. Therefore, it's going to be interesting with the Jikson. I think it'll give him a little bit more freedom. So that'll be interesting to see if that helps the attacking intents of East Bengal. But Sal Crespo has shown it. Odisha shown it at East Bengal as well. He's a good quality footballer. Who's better, PIO player, ISO foreigners? Murali, you can't generalize. There are certain PIOs who I'd say might be as good or might be better as the foreigners, but we've also got foreigners who are really, really good, really, really strong, so therefore, let's wait and see. That would say, what about KBFC? I'm just hearing that players are leaving. They tried to sign Armando Sadiku. That doesn't seem to have worked. And to me is, the Blasters need some strengthening. Surely they need some strengthening. Hi, Arijit. Which state of federation, according to you, is the best state in futsal and football in India? Does India have a team in beach football? Is there an Indian women's futsal team? What's the rank? If you ask me local state association, then I would say the best to me is the Mizoram Football Association. And as a state as well, I think they do the things, they try to do the things in the best possible way from grassroots up to the senior level. We had a beach soccer team, but I don't think, we don't have a futsal women's team. No, we don't. Salary cap, will it work? They will somehow find a loophole in it. Ayush, if you look at models, especially the one in American sports or MLS in football or in the NFL, in the NBA, where your financials are very, very closely monitored, salary caps work. In Europe, we don't have it in football, but you have it in America. And if you want to install a salary cap, you can do it. And then, all these problems that arise out of that would not happen. Huge spending of money then results at content level, then owners' interest on just hope not going like China model, then football not growing in India. Uday, to compare our model with the Chinese is a little unfair, and it's also a little weak, because if you look at it, Guangzhou Evergrande has won the Asian Champions League. We are not even close of playing at the moment in the Champions League. To make that comparison with China, to me, doesn't make sense. The problem in China was that because of COVID and the financial turnaround and other problems, a lot of companies went bust, and therefore their business models weren't working, and therefore they pulled out of their football investments. Tanmay, who's your personal choice as Indian football coach amongst the applicants? I have said my favorite would be Kaisuke Honda. I like the profile. I like the character that he had when he was playing in his prime, in Europe. He's one of those guys, his characters where I just like the overall sort of package that Honda presents. So for me, Kaitsuke Honda would be my top pick, and also Antoine Hey, a German coach who was in Myanmar for about 5 years, who understands sort of say problems of this region. I think those two would be my top two favorites. When is football World Cup? Afghanistan qualified host nation, no coverage over here. But I'm excited about Afghanistan. Orijit, one second. Let me try and find it. I'll tell you. It is in Uzbekistan from the 14th of September to 6th of October. Yeah, that's the dates. Yeah, just a simple Google and you'll be able to find it. Which is the richest Indian club in ISL I-League? What's the best Indian club in futsal? Who are India's best men and women stars in futsal? I can't even say which is the richest club in India, to be very honest. because the problem is that most of the clubs, actually nearly none of the clubs actually own any assets. If that's my logic, uh, uh, um, uh, I would most probably have to say Bangalore FC. And best club in futsal is also difficult to say because the usual suspects failed this year and other teams came up. And women's futsal, I don't even know if it exists, but men's players, I wouldn't be able to tell you honestly. Really confused about the Anwar saga. Can you explain in brief as to what happened? If you want a little bit more detail, I have done a few videos on this. Where I start about a week back and said, will Anwar stay at or leave Mohun Bagan? Then Anwar saga, can Anwar get out of this mess? If you want to, I'll also be creating a longer video on this. So maybe that will help you to understand in more detail. Huge spending of salary on players if results are not getting in continental level and the owners losing interest in football, whereas the club needs to spend huge on youth coaches. Uday, India's not going to be successful in continental level. For us, the continental qualification for our clubs is a bonus. I don't see that is, that is something which is not desirable. Mr. Goenka last year saying he wants to win the AFC Cup, now saying, I want to do well in the ACL too. That's great. But you don't have a team to really compete with the best teams. You didn't even have a team in the AFC Cup to beat and get through the group in South Asia. So it's nice thought, but yeah. Do you think there is a loophole in the Bangan loan deal with Anwar? Sort of, I don't think so. I think loan deals are relatively simple. The only loophole that they think to have found is that there is no termination clause. And normally when there is no termination clause, that means you can terminate whenever you want to, but you have to mutually agree to it. Or otherwise you can only, if there's no termination, you have to end it at the end. So therefore, normally terminations are there in a way that both sides have to agree to it. There can't be a unilateral termination of such a contract. Why can't FFP be implemented in Indian football rather than salary cap like the one in Premier League, which does have loopholes but isn't stricter like the other leagues in Europe, where it's flexible? To me, FFP can't be implemented because you need to generate income, right? You need to have the income streams coming in, and then you calculate the incomings and the outflowings when it in regard to money, right? So therefore, for me, you can't implement FFP again. The Premier League, yes. Again, I think the German system is in that way the toughest. The Spanish one is the most lenient, because if the Spanish was really tough, then, for example, Real Madrid would have not been able to sign Kylian Mbappe, right? Barcelona would most probably be playing second-tier football, right? So therefore, there are different models. But for FFP to work, which is financial fair play, you have to have income, and that income is calculated against your expenditures. And your incomes in Indian football is non-existent. If clubs are earning 15, 20 crores, but your expenditures are 50, 70, 100, it doesn't work. So then you have to say, okay, you have to work within 20 crores. Then suddenly Mohun Bagan doesn't have the team that they have at the moment, then there'll be a better I-League team. So that's the problem of such financial models. Therefore, salary cap is the only one, but is salary cap being implemented hard? Because that would mean the salaries, especially of the Indian players, would come down dramatically. Because if you have to stay within that 18 crores, you will not be throwing and splashing the money that you are at the moment. So therefore, I hope that they come down, because it's otherwise you will destroy the market in the long run. It will blow up the market in the long run, and I hope that some sense prevails. Now Sadiq is more for leaving. Can you suggest the profile more needs now? Blue, for me, central defensive midfielder. A Kauko sort of replacement to me. Otherwise, the balance is not there. That's my, if you ask me, that's what I think. Hi King lost. Any Mumbai news? I guess you will have heard Hardik Bhatt has signed, and the foreign centre back sort of is also. Even if PFC gives a verdict in favor of under and moment goes to court of arbitration, then I'll be free to play for any club of his choice. The point here is, if he again, you can't go directly to CAS, you'll have to go to FIFA first. And my understanding would be, that's a good one. If it's in favor of the player, would he be allowed to be a transfer? No, I don't think so. It'd have to go to FIFA first, and he'll be not allowed to play as long as he is. Yeah, as long as he is. As long as this goes to FIFA, he can't play. That would be my reading of the situation. But again, yeah, that would be my understanding of the situation. Also, Goa signed a young Serbian in news who is. No, I've read it, I've heard it, I've seen also Marcus's tweet, but I don't know who that Serbian is so far. Notes to myself. Hi, welcome, Darren. Since it's clear that, like Daylight, that has definitely signed a pre-agreement, and then why not? He's maybe been for such an unethical deal. See, that's the point that I've already made in my videos, that if there is an agreement, and I've heard from reliable people that there is a 5-year contract which has been signed, then normally unethical approach. We've just discussed 1. FC Köln, or Cologne, as some people would say, has done the same thing here in Germany with a player from Slovenia. That would normally mean a true transfer window ban for East Bengal. So with the whole Anwar thing, I don't know if he can sign, if this will get resolved before the end of this transfer window. So that would be by the 31st of August. If that doesn't happen, Anwar cannot play till Jan. But if in Jan and in June, East Bengal get a transfer ban from FIFA, that potentially could mean that Anwar could only sign for East Bengal in January 2026. So this is the difficulty. Therefore, I'm saying that I feel East Bengal reached out too quickly to his people, and yeah, that's the problem. If PSC gives his verdict in favor of Anwar, then in coming future, any player can terminate the contract to earn more money, then there's no value of a proper contract. Your thoughts? SB 1994 perfectly said. Very, very well said. You've understood it. These rules and regulations are there, and even if the PSC does it, Mohun Bagan or the player, both sides can still go to FIFA, and the worst case can go to CAS. But this will then drag on, right? So therefore, normally, my suggestion would have been try and sit together and find a solution together. Because to me, Anwar coming back to Mohun Bagan, I don't see that happening. There's too much of broken glass which you can't really put together again. So therefore, yeah. King lost your views on Hardik Bhatt. A good backup as right back. Nothing more, nothing less. Mona Godavra, do you think Kalyan Chobe has the capability to run the federation? He might have the experience of goalkeeping, but it's all about experience and administration, whereas experience is nil. Moinok, the point is the job, in my opinion, of an AIFF president, if you ask me, is to have the right people to run the federation. And to me, if he has the right person, if you have the right persons in the right positions, you are only macro managing. The job of an AIFF president is to represent. Now you have someone like Satya, who has done excellent work in Karnataka. So to me is that if Satya gets the support and the right support, then yeah, things could be possible. So therefore, I hope that things change. Again, with Satya, we have a good, acting general secretary general. Sorry, and Kalyan has lost in the elections. Maybe now he has a little bit more time for football. I would hope so. Otherwise, if he doesn't do the things that are needed, at some stage, I think he'll be removed by the exco. That's also the reality of Indian football. Right, those of you who are watching who haven't still, please do subscribe to Arun Foot. Slowly inching towards the 1300s. Aim is, as written below, is to get to 2000 and then grow bigger. Like this video, share the stream, and let's keep on growing. So, hello Sanskar. Our players do not deserve that much hype that they get, especially bigger fan base club. You have a point there. To me, you have a point there. So therefore, for me, and it's not just it's across India, across clubs. We are hyping up our players a lot on social media. This, that, everything. Yeah, we need to all focus more on football. And it's not an Indian problem. It's a global problem. Hyping up players and then not focusing, right? And that's the challenge. Hi, Nazari. Who will be coach of India according to sources? Nazari, they've not even done the shortlist. So at the moment, no clarity. Tanma, I think Bajab wants a fight with AFF anyhow as relegation ISL is not implemented as promised, he said. Yeah, but why would you have a fight with AFF and then have a fight with Mohun Bagan? I mean, that does make sense. And as someone who was involved in the roadmap for Indian football, working at the time for the AFC on the project, there was a potential date mentioned in summer 2024. But there are certain realities that have happened, especially with COVID and FIFA suspension, this, that, and other things, where you can push it maybe for another 2-3 years. So therefore, but again, there's no conversation happening on it. That's the problem, really. And that's where, sorry, Ranjit doesn't know everything on these matters. Sorry to say that. He thinks he knows, but he doesn't. Sanskar, Greg show money to referee, and now itself coming for money. How money changes people is best example is Greg. Yeah, but Sanskar, that's football. That's sports. That's life. Again, if you had the option, I think, and to me, that's something, let's see. Shomnath said, do you have any information regarding AFF FIFA Academy, the players that have been scouted? I know that they have been doing their scouting processes, but I've not heard anything about a final selection because I know, that they have, they have sent away a lot of kids, and that was an issue of regarding overage. Who's going to select coach, technical committee or president? Anand, there is a special committee which is formed. The technical committee head is part of that committee. They will decide on the national team coach. Do you think Mumbai City FC wing back or left back and right back is weaker or decent, or else have gone for better option than Sahil Panwar, Hardik Bhatt? Sanskar, I think the problem is, to be very, very honest, looking at the market, that there were no better ones available. And Hardik Bhatt, for me, is a good choice because you know the player, you've seen the player, you know how good the player is. Sahil Panwar, let's see, maybe another surprise for us who improves. And let's see what happens. Shorov, hi, welcome. Your team of the Euro Cup 2024, please. Yeah, I actually did it a little earlier, so just to mention as well. My goalkeeper was Mamadashvili. In defense, I had Kimmich, Akanji, Saliba, Kukurea. Defensive midfield, Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, Dani Olmo in my attacking position. Lamine Yamal, Jamal Musiala, Nico Williams as my attacking players. So I'm playing without a real number 9. And my subs would have been Magnon, Carvajal, Ruben Dias, Kroos, Mainu, Conte, Simmons, and Weghorst, and Luis de la Fuente as my coach. Yeah, that would have been sort of my ideal 11. Again, can agree, disagree, but that's to the others. Musa, thank you very much. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing fine. Rupan, I did the Ironman camp should have raised the issue of a permanent deal with one instead of going public. I doubt one would have disagreed. Rupan, the question is, no, I don't think the permanent, again, I think from Mohun Bagan's perspective, if you look at the deal, why would you then go for a permanent deal? You have, if I look at the price at the moment, I think the reality is to me is that why would they then change the contract? I mean, the only thing you would have said is that, listen, we changed the contract, but for the same price. I don't think that they would have done it. They wanted more money. That's the whole issue here. King Law संस्कृत भाई पर फुल बैक्स हैं कौन बताया अवेलेबल मार्केट में ये तो दिक्कत है. I'm not convinced with Salpan was signing rest. Bhatt is good. We have seen him playing. Yeah, that's the problem. Sanskar bro, Bajaj has done with Mohammad Subhajan. He's been do. You think he same thing? FC Goa? No, he didn't. Goa just didn't want to extend the contract. Realistically, how can we see a SAF team in Football World Cup? Could FIFA further its 48 team? Why not grant South National playoff with OFC? Arsit, we have to qualify. I mean, the World Cup has grown, and again, for us, very simply, we have to somehow make our way into the World Cup, and for that, we have to get into the best 8-9 nations in Asia. Period. Be it India, be it Pakistan, be it Bangladesh, Nepal, Maldives, Sri Lanka, and Bhutan. So therefore, that's a reality, right? That's the reality of where we need to go. Yeah, that's the question. Thanks, Abhishek. Thank you very, very much. Which administrator in football think done better job? For me, Tete Amar in Mizoram has done an excellent job. For me, also acting secretary has done a very, very good job in Karnataka. So there are people who've done a good job. Yeah, this is hi Shaggy. Hope you're doing fine, brother. Now in the next World Cup 26, which players from India men's should be progressed? I mean, you're watching any youngster from BFC. Shivaldo is doing well under Geraldo. Any other in your mind? I honestly, these guys need to prove themselves. I think we regularly need to get our under 23s to play, because my question has been, what I've seen is that an issue is of standard. To me, is that the older players have really performed on a regular basis. The younger ones haven't. So therefore, that is it. And that's something which is. Yeah, which are all realities at the moment. This is, if I like it or not, these are all realities that they are. But I think we need some younger players to step up. Shivaldo could be one, but I think Shivaldo needs to physically man up. That's the same thing I've said about Mahesh and other players. They need to man up a little bit more to be able to be tougher for international football. Hi, Rohit. Can I ask you questions about Indian tennis in this live discussion? Should we stick to football only? Rohit, I know limited stuff about tennis. I know about some players, but sorry, I'm not the right person to ask question about Indian tennis. So, please stick to football. Hi, Abhishek. Are we in a transition period right now? We need to use it properly, or we're dangerously behind to all other nations. From a national team perspective, both men's and women's, if I look at the situation, I think we are in a transitional period, and I think that I feel that we need to get better, but we are falling behind. Again, the issue of players of origin and all is a topic which again the government is not budging and doing things. So that's the challenge, that we need to grow, we need to get better, we need to get bigger, and let's wait and see. Let's see. Murali, hunger makes difference because of high salary. Hunger is lost. How do you see Africa? They have less resources. Still, we can't compare with them. Yeah, that's the point. Sanskar bro, I say Bajaj has interfered so much in Mosa Israel nowadays. So in the past one was FC Goa player and John Maso in that deal. How much he interfered that deal? Sanskar, Goa didn't want to extend the contract. Simple as that. And he had a 1-year deal, so there is no interference angle. How many youth peaks India have? See, there are the national ones which are under 17, 15, and 13, and then a lot of ones are across the state. How do you rate administration during Stephen time, Bob Houghton, Igor, which can function effectively? I mean, under first Stephen term and under Bob, it was Albert Colasso did a good job to, so is there. And under Stephen, Igor, it was Kushal, so he did well. And now we've had a little bit of chaos over the last 2 years. If Switzerland play fine, I would have enjoyed watching, but England lucky or Southgate good fortune. Yeah, England lucky, good fortune, both of it. Do you think Indian football is not going upwards for 50 years and system is still bad, even with ISL? See, average footy for me, to me, the problem is that we have glorified some of our history, and wrongly, I think we have. You know, to me, the success of the 50s and 60s are important. Yes, to be successful at the Asian Games, to be successful at the Olympics. But the world shifted in the 50s to play FIFA. We didn't. We missed the bus in 1950. And we played the first Asian Cup and were runners up. But then after that, our focus has been wrong. And that's something, the focus of the federation. And again, yesterday we were talking about that, we're already talking about Asian Games 2025. So therefore, let's wait and see where it goes. Your opinion on Sudhir FC, do you think them doing good player development work or is hype from their founders? Rohit, certainly they've done some good work on their players, but as with all other academies, no one is producing Asian level players. That's my demand to the academies. If they really do good work would be, much better quality players than we are producing at the moment. And that's not being done by any academy in India. That's the reality. Any academy in India, sorry guys, you're not producing the level of players that I would like to see for us to be able to go to the next level. In terms of trophy this season, Dani Carvajal can win the Ballon d'Or this year. Abhishek, trophy, but in his game, if you ask me, I would like to see Rodri winning the Ballon d'Or, to be very honest. I think that's the type of player that I see. Difference between Musiala and Yamal. First of all, Jamal Musiala and Lamine Yamal is a Y and a J. That's a joke. To me, Yamal is more on the wing, but both of them, Musiala is better in his twists and turns and all that stuff, is more of a central player, but again, both of them are technically gifted. So different in a way. Sort of, if Anwar's case solved within 3 months and he's available for East Bengal in us along with Jigson, Diamanta Costalal, Saul, Hijaji, Nanda, Mahesh, Gill, Nunga, etc., what you take on the team? Sort of, let's see if it's going to be 3 months. Because if I look at it at the moment, I would fear for him that there is a suspension in some sort of form way coming. So therefore, let's see if he's going to be playing anytime soon. But if he joins this team, East Bengal looks good. But is this already a Champions team? I would like to see how the coach builds this team. How does he get it to play? To me, let's wait and see what happens. Even if Anwar alone not permanent deal, so in future Bajaj can defend Anwar deal just like they did with Moma, or will he be East Bengal player? My understanding is he's going to sign a permanent deal. So so therefore that would be it. Yeah, Blue, you're right. If it's a permanent deal, so that's the question that will be asked. Your thoughts on Morata's comments on Jamal Musiala during Euro celebrations? I think we have. I tweeted about it earlier in the day. I felt. The one from the Argentinians was just terrible. It was racist. It was terrible what kind of a live Enzo Fernandez did in the bus. And the Spaniards got a little carried away. Rodri did that one with Gibraltar, which is not acceptable. The Morata one on Musiala doesn't work because Carvajal got a red card. So factually, it's bullshit. Sorry, it's BS what he said. And he should have been thrown out of the game earlier. So therefore, to me, Morata got carried away and factually wrong, fake news. Hi Jay, Anwar could have told this at least 2 months back, then Mohammed could have found his replacement. Now he's saying, well, no, any quality are free. Don't you think it's a kind of blackmailing? Jay Panda, this has been going on, supposedly, for the last 3-4 months. And if I'm Mohun Bagan, for Mohun Bagan, this contract makes sense, this loan contract. It's a good contract given what all other players are at the moment earning. For Mohun Bagan, this contract is good. Anwar, it's all about money at the end of the day. Right? And we're talking about a player who has a heart ailment, who doesn't play the whole season. So therefore, these are all, I think for East Bengal also, if they're going to sign a 5-year deal with the player, is he going to be able to play for 5 years? Would be my question. I hope, again, I hope I'm wrong, but my lessons, my learnings, yeah, some people might say I'm arrogant on that. A lot of things that I think and I say is right at the end of the day. So therefore, it doesn't make sense to sign. So this is a kind of player I would never sign to more than a 2-year contract. Max. Amar was better option, but sadly don't join Mercer. That's why Mercer don't get any good fullbacks. Sanskar, sometimes it's also a question of what you want to do. And in this instance, the player and Mumbai City thought it's better for him to stay with Odisha. Rohit, I think I remember in 2008, a lot of Indian footballers like Bhutia, etc., used to complain about the lack of football infrastructure in India. IS has definitely changed that. Not many complain about infra now. Rohit, our infra has improved dramatically over the last 10 years. If you would ask Baichung today, or the whole generation of Baichungs, Renidis, Mahesh Kohlis, Mehrajuddin Wadus, Ishfaqs, and whoever's there, they'll all tell you, right? So therefore, for me, the infrastructure has improved massively. Of course, ISL is one. The other thing maybe people might forget is hosting the Under-17 World Cup, men's mainly, but also the women's. That has improved a lot of footballing infrastructure, especially training grounds. Look at the training grounds in Kolkata, the training grounds in Mumbai, in Goa, in Kerala. All these came up because of the Under-17 World Cup. Bro, which two fullbacks will you play if you was MSC coach? Sanjeev, Valpuya, Mehta, Hardik, Sal, Panwar. My first question is, who do I play as centre back? So I think Mehta plays a centre back. I think Valpuya can play left or right. And I think Sanjeev Stalin would be my preferred choice at the moment. But yeah, I'm saying that theoretically without having seen any training. So therefore, let's see. When will Mumbai City FC start preseason? Very soon. I think they were supposed to start this week, I thought. Yeah, but yeah, I thought they were supposed to start this week, but I haven't seen anything about a date. Do you think 29 July is a bit late to start preseason of Mohun Bagan? Yes, I think so. Given, that you also have to play AFC Champions League 2, I think it's that. By the way, is it legal to talk club without agent? Nope. Is it not? That's already, again, that's why the Anwar case is a little complicated and complex. So therefore, there are a lot of issues coming together here. That are very complex and that are very complicated that make it, so difficult to define in which way the whole thing is going. Abhishek, but don't give any credit other Madrid like Jude or Vinny than one Madrid player will anyway this year. I'm sure that Roti favored to win due recent bias. I don't think bias. Sorry, I mean, if the way Roti played the Euros and how they won the Premier League, it's good. But again, yes, Real Madrid did win the Champions League. But were they really that outstanding, the performances of the players? I don't think so. Hi, Harry Maguire. What's your view on Ishaq about physical U17 players instead of non-physical Northeast players? And he says he can make tall players better. And do you think the mud camp can develop technical, I don't know, basics? I don't agree with Ishaq on this one. I honestly feel that if you're tall, nice, but again, if you're good technically, the package has to be good, and that's one thing which I fear. And I don't, again, maybe I would love to speak to Ishfaq and ask him what he actually meant by what he said, because I thought, it doesn't make sense. So therefore, let's see. I'll talk to him. Does PR team also interfere in any players transfer of one team to another, or don't? PR team has nothing to do with the transfer, Sanskar. Those of you who are watching and who've not said anything, who've not subscribed to the channel, please do. arunfoot, yes, let's grow the family, and also like this video, share this video, and let more people join in our conversation. I wanted to know your opinion about I-League 1 to 3. Is their existing system as the pyramid, or we need to increase the teams for competitors? I-League 3 still needs a revamp. They look like Invitation League. to me, I-League 1 is too big at the moment. I-League 2 could be a little bigger as a league. I think all these leagues could be sort of a 12. Again, I-League 3 has to develop maybe into a regional league, you know. It's more, as you say, it's not even an invitational league, it's more an invitational tournament, I think, Abhishek. The problem is of the competitiveness. We were talking about the ISL, we've got too many teams, and to me, we need to find the right balance of the number of teams and the competitiveness, and that's a challenge where we are going. What we've about 15, 17 years ago, we left the field of saying, listen, we've got enough, and then we said we want to increase. We've opened up and we've diluted things, and I feel that's a problem. We need to be able to funnel the best talent through, be it at youth level, grassroots youth level, and also at senior level. Hi, Vas. Sorry, was this one? Sir, why Chennai League not happening? Vasu, if I'm rightly informed, there were problems regarding the Tamil Nadu Football Association, also the Chennai Football Association. That's why those were kind of issues. The kind of first 11 East Bengal is building, keeping that in mind, do you think right back is a bit weaker if we compare with the players in the rest of the positions? Yeah, could be. Right back and left back are two positions where East Bengal maybe, need to look at. But again, centre back, let's see. Viviano Fernandez is best for U17. Vasu has done an excellent job. Viviano has done an excellent job over the years with the under-17. So in the last few years, let's see. England missed a great stopper like you, Mr. Harry Maguire. Yeah. Nice one, Mainak. Can't all SAF and ASEAN nations united bid for World Cup? SAF and ASEAN will not happen. ASEAN have done it in the past. They've been turned down. But yeah, that will not happen. Blue, do you think Mumbai interested in the loan deal considering his ailment, as they suspect he may not play for long term? I think not the long term, because then you don't sign a 4-year deal. I think it might be that if something happens to him, you can say, listen, we've loaned him, but he's a Delhi FC player. I think that might be my logic of why not signing a permanent deal, which Goa did and which Mumbai did. Because my question also is, when he came out of the AFF system, Mumbai City turned him down because of the heart ailment. So how has he passed the medical at Goa and Mohun Bagan and potentially in future at East Bengal? Simple question. He failed the medical at Mumbai City at the time. The player has a heart ailment. And as much as I love Anwar as a player, but his health goes above anything else, at least in my opinion. Other people don't think so. Whatever happens, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Rohit, your thoughts on Shubha Paul's development training with the EU Academy? Rohit, Shubha Paul spent some time with the FC Bayern World Squad. They didn't think he was good enough. And again, most of the World Squad was not good enough. And to me, that's something. That's the reality, right? When he's testing himself with players from around the world, he's still an Indian footballer. Why Saudis have all the fun, Orijit? Blue says it, money. 2030 World Cup will be played in 6 countries. Orijit, yes and no. There will be, it's the centenary of the World Cup, the first World Cup in 1930. So therefore, there will be 3 matches played in South America, and the rest will be played in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. So therefore, yes, it is 6 countries, but actually it's just 3 at the start, and then the rest of the tournament will be in Europe and North Africa. Dejan Drazic, FC Goa announced. Dejan Drazic, sounds interesting. Dejan Drazic. Why does the name ring a bell? Where bell? 1 second, let me just check. Okay. Product of Partizan Belgrade, played in Spain with Celta Vigo, Real Valladolid, played in Slovan Bratislava in Slovakia, played in Jablivia Lubin in Poland, Honved Budapest, played in Turkey for Bodrum, and was playing in Cyprus at Ethnikos. Okay, so 28. Yeah, interesting. Interesting signing for FC Goa. They think there should be salary cap on Indian players, and foreign players should be excluded and signed like marquee players. I don't know, Harry, if you've seen it. I've done a video on this topic today in regard to, should FSDL, enforce a salary cap. In my opinion, they should. They need to. In my opinion, I think also the ISL organizing body needs to be tougher on things. But I think I wouldn't exclude the foreigners, because then we're overpaying the Indians and the foreigners, and that needs to somehow be controlled. And I don't know what it is, but it has to be controlled. Sanskar, maybe Anwar had given money or else think that his heart issues does not come, or Monban, weaker medical team and doctor. No, money doesn't work in this case. Again, to me, yeah, it's not the best decision, and therefore, again, I'm looking at the interest of the player in the sense of regard to health, because I don't want a repeat of things that have happened in the past on Indian football field. We had Cristiano Jr. dying in 2005 in the final of the Federation Cup in Bangalore. So again, I don't want to see those kind of incidents. Therefore, maybe that's the case. More in Nigeria, Ghana, only few countries compete with Europe teams, while rest of us trying because of money or lack of resources quality. Nigeria and Ghana can compete, but don't, in my opinion. They always are like, so to me, nah, it's not about money and it's not about resources. It's at the end of the day, it's quality. With whom should India partner to host World Cup? China, Sino-Indian collab. China, if they want, they will host an own World Cup. To me, if India wants to host the World Cup, India can and will do it on its own. I don't think India needs a collab. So I think let's wait and see what happens with something like that in the long run. Apart from European top league, rest of the leagues like Croatia, Netherlands league is very difficult for an Asian player to go through. Yes, they are also tough. Hi, sort of. Next year's RFDL and FFDL is getting, or FSDL. This is Foundation. Yeah. What's next according to you? Sort of at the moment, I think the question is, do the AFF and do Reliance want to extend the contract? According to what I hear, there's been no conversation on the matter. I think that's a conversation which needs to be had. Both sides need to have openly with each other. Do you want to extend the contract? Do you want to try and do something to improve Indian football together? Does Reliance maybe say, listen, we will just organize the ISL and you can organize the rest of the football, and something like, I don't know, it's just a thought. But to me, the danger is there. If Reliance pulls out, does the whole system suffer? And therefore, for me, that's a big question. That's a big question, which a lot of people don't realize. It's nice for the clubs, for example, to sign 3, 4, 5-year contracts, and we don't know if that league will exist in 3, 4, 5 years, or maybe even, is ISL 11 maybe the last ISL? We don't know. In December 2025, the contract runs out. So therefore, there's a lot of questions sort of which needs to be answered on this front. I hope that they find a solution, because that's the best way of taking it forward. But I don't know. Has Reliance improved grassroots, or is it hyped? Well, I think they've done a good job. But again, long-term grassroots youth development, as I always say, coaching and competitions will need to take it forward. That's the challenge. Ishan, what do you think needs to be done by an Asian team like South Korea, Japan, or South take the next big step by making it to semi-finals of World Cup? Win decisive matches. I think that's something which we see, be it at the Euros, be it at Copa America, for example. Canada was the surprise, right? But we see the development that Canada's had over the last 15, 20 years. I think that's something that the Asian teams need to prove, So therefore, for me, let's wait and see what happens. ISO shutdown never left the Indian football because of loss. It has nothing to do with the losses. Again, I think Sanskar, it's to me, if they leave, then that's about the relationship or non-relationship with the AFF. So for me, the question arises if both sides want to continue or don't want to continue, and if they leave, and then again, if they leave, then why would the others be there? Because suddenly the FSDL is not organizing the league. Does the league exist? Does it then become the I League? I don't know. I don't know what will happen. That's the problem. And if they pull out in a normal case, then others will follow through. Hi Sushant, and also PC never going against players, so I think Anwar going to win this. Okay, how do you come to that conclusion, Shushanto? And again, Blue is asking, but again, I wouldn't call it a stupid argument, but again, you have a point. To me, is they go mostly for the players because the clubs, mostly it's one, it's about salary often. Very often it's about salary. And that's why the clubs lose. In this case, it's not about salary. It's about understanding of the contract. So therefore, for me, Shrikant, if you ask me, there is no case for Anwar. He unilaterally terminated a contract. And when you unilaterally terminate the contract, then let's say Anwar has to compensate Mohun Bagan, take a punishment, which would be a fine and a suspension. East Bengal has supposedly signed a contract with him. They get a suspension as well, fine as well. That is normally how the world works. Now we know it's Indian football, so I wouldn't be surprised. But again, I don't think that will happen. Brazil, Belgium, this team falling down from podium or team going through transition? Brazil has team internal problems. I feel Belgium surely is going through a transition. If India play ultra defensive like they do, won't they be able to hold Japan, Colombia, Canada, USA, Australia to less than 3 or 4 goals? They should consider hosting World Cup. Modi ji should wake up for football. We can't play defensively. That the Asian Cup is a sign. We concede goals, and again, with better finishing, we could have lost 4, 5, 6-0 to all the 3 teams. That's the reality. One thing you could consider ISL and criticize it. Yeah, Murali, that's the reality. Why doesn't AFF just sell ISL to FSL like ever else in the world where top tier leagues are run by private? But the ISL is run by FSDL. The AFF has no stake. Does multi-nation hosting the World Cup or Euros likewise helps, or is a burden for all? Your opinion, please. It is not the it's a challenge for the organizing body. It's an organizing nightmare, I would say, for a FIFA or UEFA. Again, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland are hosting the next Euros. 2030 FIFA World Cup in 6 nations is going to be a huge headache for FIFA. But it's if you think it's the right thing, it's I think also a thing for the fans. I think you saw at the Euros. Of course, you had some problems with the travels, but again, you could go from A to B. I think that was the charm of Qatar, that you were able to watch matches and stay in the same hotel, which you can't do, for example, in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, because they've got a 3-nation organization. So therefore, there are different models to do it. Anwar, how long will it happen? Supposedly, if East Bengal sign him, they would sign him on a 5-year contract. FC Goa new player announcement. Yes, Jatin Dejan Drazic is the new player. Sort of those who have been following Indian football since early 2000, they would know FSD organization is at par from what it was previously. No, I wouldn't say that. As someone who's worked with the ISL, and for a club, it is much better organized than the I-League. What's the point of discussion for a contract of FSL and AFF? Orithro, the point is that there is no point of discussion in regard to they don't know what they're talking about. Is it about money? Is it about what rights, who handles, who takes care of? I don't know at the moment. And I think nobody knows. Can we collaborate with a football nation, sign MOU and still implement matters? Morally, we've done that. I myself have done deals between the All India Football Federation and the German FA. So we've had those kind of deals in the past. But there was deals with the French, with the Japanese. Nothing has sadly come out of it. How competitive is CONCACAF World Cup? How come Qatar plays every year? Why not Japan, Korea, India? It's an invitational thing, and I think it's not CONCACAF World Cup. I think you're talking about the um, Copa America, where Qatar has played a few times. It's who they invite. Are you doing an interesting project right now with FIFA, AFC, UEFA? You're revealing publicly. Ishan, I have two very interesting projects I'm working on, but the health of my parents isn't the best. That's why I have to work from home. But yeah, two interesting projects, but I can't talk about them. Sanskar tomorrow, missing around 6 foreign player, maybe after tomorrow. Yeah, I think in the next 2 days they'll do it. So Rajiv, do you feel East Bengal, despite not getting favor of having players drafting like BFC, fought their way back to glory days without merging with Nara? So Giants has done a commendable job. I think Rajiv, I think the East Bengal needed to learn and still hasn't learned that they still have to get back to the level that they have been in the past. I think that's the biggest challenge for a club like that. Um, you know, so therefore, for me, um, the point here is, and now you're trying to pay your way to that level. You're not you're not growing consistently. That would be my little criticism on East Bengal over the last 4 years. Realistic, know where you are, and then try and build. They've done it in the last 2 years to some extent. Stephen has left a little bit behind. Carlos had something to build on, and then he built something. Now they're building on it. I think they need another year, and then I think 25, 26, if the ISL still exists, East Bengal could be challenging for the top. But I think, the glory days will only be when they get to the top and win something. And they didn't win in the again. The reality is they haven't won anything in the I League. They've never won the I League. That's a sad reality. East Bengal last time won it when it was called NFL in the early 2000s. So therefore, Rajiv, yeah, East Bengal needs to do, has done a lot, but now let's hope that this team works, and then next summer they can make a few more changes, and then let's see where it goes. Harry Maguire, if we see big European nation, there's been a number of ethnically African players in the national team, from very few to almost 80% in French, England, Germany, Portugal. Following in future would see very few local ethnic players in national teams. Harry Maguire, this is happening because teams are getting multicultural, and it's not just about African players. I think that's a talking point, yes. But if you see, for example, Lenormand or Aymeric Laporte, both of them French origin players in the Spanish team. Theo Hernandez, for example, being Spanish origin in the French team. We in the German team have had players who are Italian origin, Spanish origin, from the Balkans, from Turkey. Our captain Ilkay Gundogan. We're becoming multiracial in Europe, so therefore you will the national teams will depict that. And if you don't, so therefore, let's see. How do you rate Euro and Copa Administration Football Stadium? The Euros were great, and the Copa was. I don't know if you saw the Copa. The Copa final was a disaster. So therefore, yeah. What could we do to bring foreign youth coaches to improve our grassroots? Money, Utsav, very simply money. You have to throw money at people to convince them to come to India. That's the only reason, Do you think BFC got some advantage, disadvantage for other teams to fight against them because they got also favor from agents or more connect to agents? No, I don't think so. India 20 beat Argentina, and once in a lifetime, Argentina underestimated us. Might be a combination of both. I don't know. Missed the above part portion which conveyed my message wrongly. Oh, did I? Sorry, did I miss it? Oops, what did you say? Okay, sorry, my mistake. Why England not winning trophy? What's holding them back? Unrealistic expectations. They're not good enough. Manisha Kalyan joining PAOK is amazing. We might see her in Women's Champions League in September. I hope so. I do hope so. Yeah. Anwar long balls always leads to shot on or off goal. Yeah, but yeah, is that the way you want to play? Let's wait and see how he's going to do. I mean, they had not enough, not even play, and people are hyping that much. Let's wait and see how whole season how it goes. And that's it's to say anything. Sanskar, that's I agree. Again, East Bengal over the last 3 seasons, I would say every year under Stephen, then last year and this year, the team has quality wise has become better. And let's see. I was referring to Comfort Gold Cup. Qatar plays the regular despite being Asian. Why can't India get him to play in OFC Cup? One or two invited by AFF. Yeah, but OFC Cup is an official tournament, and India invited them to an invitational tournament. So that's Arijit. We will not be invited. Utsav, do you see any problem if we have 4 or 5 clubs from the same city? I think eventually 5 as will be dominated by Goa, Kerala, Calcutta clubs. 4 5. I don't see 4 5 clubs. 2 3 is possible, but 4 5 clubs will not be good. Then you have to create some restriction or barrier somehow or the other. Monak, an off topic, how do you rate Angel Di Maria's importance in this Argentine midfield? Often he's a more valuable contributor than Messi. It's not, again, I think Angel Di Maria, Lionel Messi are also not just important on the field. I think they're important off the field as well. So therefore, yeah, that's worked for them. And I think these experienced players are very, very important for this Argentina team, for the younger ones to rally around. Our football infrastructure improved because of ISL and hosting. What should India do to improve Indian football coaching quality and quantity? Bring in the right people from abroad to teach our coaches, and the coaches need to implement that. There needs to be a will and desire. We need to be willing to do that. Does AS improve our quality or decline? Difficult question, Murali, because overall the quality of club football has improved, but the quality of Indian players has not. So, yeah. How do you see the AFF FIFA project Kalyan is depicting going to perform in future? I hope it does, again, because of the inputs. And to me, I hope Kalyan is right. But that answer will come in 4 or 5 years if it starts this year or a little later. Why don't AFF ask government to increase funds for football? Jatin, they have asked. But they're not getting more money at the moment. Let's see, they've had a meeting this week with the sports minister, so let's hope that the sports ministers increase the money. Marco tweeted just now that AF is preferring Indian experience for national team coach. Shaggy, I would have thought so. That they would, yeah. But that's not what I think. Do you agree even safer teams are throwing money nowadays? Blue, certainly they are. That's the problem. Are a youth coach not focused basics and technical skills, or the coach itself outdated? It could be any of the things that you've mentioned. Lack of things would be, and as I said, competitions are a problem as well. I think in Spain or in England we have multiple clubs in same cities in top division, but it's grown sort of organically, right? It's not something where we had an I League about I think 12, 13 years back, where you had 4 teams from Kolkata, 4 teams from Goa, 3 from Mumbai, out of 12 and then 14. That's not good. So therefore, I think you don't have, again, London in England would be an anomaly. Normally, you have maximum 2 teams from a city. Even having 3 is a lot. Unless some rich foreign European clubs owner come in India and take some club football, will not grow, I feel. Yeah, Sanskar. You see how what City Football Group has done with Mumbai City over the last 5 years. Great job. How strong is North Korean team? Could China, North Korea, Kuwait, Oman join quality? Which was the biggest upset for you to see a debut from Asia? See, North Korea has played the 2010 World Cup. Kuwait, Oman, Jordan less, but Kuwait, Oman going to the World Cup would be, let's see. Hang on, Kuwait have played World Cup. How they don't look as strong, similar to India? They've played the World Cup in the 80s. Do you have any memories of your playing time football? Murali, I've never played professional football. I've played football for fun. I still play football for fun. So I do have memories of playing football. AFF should not fund DFA and SFA, which run leagues of minimum 6 months. Jatin, I hope they do it. What happened to Interkashi? I'm a little out of touch. Utsav, they're there. They just launched their jersey this week, and Interkashi is doing a lot of things right. They're trying to move to Uttar Pradesh this year. I hope they can, and I wish them all the best. Yeah, they've done a lot of things right, and I guess they'll be trying to challenge for a spot in the ISL. You know, they will fight it out most probably with Srinidhi Deccan and with Gokulam Kerala for the title. Do you think football is still not spread among all over the country? We can see very less clubs from north part of the country as well as from middle parts of the country. Yes, sort of it is, but again, I think it has grown not from a club football sense, but I think there is some following for football now in states where you in the past would have said, UP, MP, Rajasthan, Gujarat, where there are football fans. Kalyan's the ruling party, but still can't find extra funds. Looks like he's a little more interested in politics. Shameful. It is not so easy, to get money out of government is not so easy. And again, look at what they've been doing around cricket. Do they care about football? That would be my question. Does I have good knowledge about football or zero knowledge or half knowledge? It's difficult, therefore it's something which has to be differentiated between different owners. Some have knowledge, some have little knowledge, some have no knowledge. Yeah, let's see. What's the difference between BCCI and AFF? Both are PTC organizations, but so different status. Ajit, the BCCI has evolved and developed and has the money. The AFF doesn't. Why Interkashi's top manager and core players left? Good question. I don't know why they left, but Arata is now the head coach. Let's see what Izumi does. People lost hope in Indian football thinking they will do good, but each time they were disappointed. Unrealistic expectations. Why Atletico Madrid with it didn't work out in your opinion? At the time, it was a matter of money, guys. Over 1.5 hours, don't want to sound rude, can break into under FIFA rankings near future. Somnath, don't see that. Top 100, yes, somehow the other we can sneak in, but top 90s, very difficult. Then we have to be consistent for 2-3 years. And at the moment, I think we need to be careful that we don't fall behind. We can hold ourselves in the 120s. That would be something, that would be. If we have good grassroots, do you think we can give good fight to Asian top team? Yeah, in the long run, but that will be 15-20 years, Murali, not next week. If JFA had fans, but the owners are not serious, they had to get success like one of the moments if they're serious and focus on football. Sanskar, their focus is more on sort of a philanthropical approach to sports, supporting sports, or so therefore there is a different approach. I said, guys, more than 1.5 hours today. As always, great fun. Thank you for joining in again. I thank you as always for you to come in. Hope you've learned a few things. We've exchanged information. We've learned Dejan Drazic is the new foreigner at FC Goa. As always, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video. Let's grow it. Let's grow the channel. Support me, please. Spread it amongst your friends. Let's get more people involved as well. And as always, thank you for coming in. So therefore, and to answer Travel Happy with Shashi, it's not finalized. They're closing in, I guess, on what they want, and then we'll see who they will appoint. And Arijit, to answer your question, yes, to me it was hype. I was in Bangalore. I thought the semi-final, final, Lebanon and Kuwait, it was great, the atmosphere and all, but yeah, we weren't that good. It could have gone the other way, but it went for us. So therefore, we should be happy. And it was a little bit too much of a hype, which is hurting us now, I think. So 1 year later. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll catch you very, very soon. Soon, I mean tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, I'll be back. And let's see what are the latest updates in Indian football. I'll be back on our show. As I said, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video. And I've already done a video on what my ideas are on FSDL stepping in to control the salary cap, and I'll be making a video on Anwar as well later on. So thanks a lot. Bye for now. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye.